What's this? A letter for me.
Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports Through the Mail Thursdays. Today I'm going to share with you 3 returned envelopes from the past few weeks, or month I should say, and hopefully you guys enjoy this one, as I'm going to enjoy showing them too. Alright, this first one is postmarked from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and it is indeed current Philadelphia Phillies announcer Larry Andersen on 1, 2, 3, 4, and a rookie card makes 5. Now, Larry Andersen is actually a pretty impressive repertoire of Major League career. He has pitched for, I believe, 17 seasons in the major leagues. 17 seasons in the major leagues. Yes. During that period, he played for the Indians, the Mariners, the Phillies twice, the Astros, the Red Sox, and the Padres. And I kind of covered this, but no Phillies cards, it looks like, in this group. He appeared in 2 World Series, the 83 World Series and the 93, although he did not actually make an appearance in the 83 series, but he was on the 93 team 10 years later, and he appeared in that World Series. So, Mr. Andersen, after his playing career, actually got into the coaching ranks. He coached a couple seasons for the Philadelphia Phillies organization. But in 1998, longtime Philly great and longtime Phillies announcer Richie Ashburn passed away. And Ashburn passed away in late 1997, and he interviewed for the job to be the commentator for the television radio side of the Phillies, and he's been doing that ever since. So Mr. Andersen signed these 5. I am going to try to possibly get this signed by the other 2 gentlemen on this card, Bobby Cuellar and Sandy Whittle, I guess you would pronounce his name, Whittle. I hope I'm not butchering that too much, but pretty cool addition to the collection. Long-time major leaguer. 17 years spanning from 1975 to basically 1993. This guy has a ton of cards. I mean, every Topps Donruss, Fleer, Upper Deck set that was made during that era probably has this guy in the set. So these cards are relatively cheap. You can find them, in the common boxes. You can crack open some packs and probably find them in there as well, and some of the junk wax era cards. So if you have any Larry Andersens laying around, I definitely recommend maybe sending them out. One thing to point out is they misspelled his name on this card. It is Andersen, S-E-N, not S-O-N. So if you're trying to order these online, I highly recommend you look at your birth dates. Make sure it's the same guy on the card, because there is another Larry Andersen that also played, I believe. So thank you, Mr. Andersen. Alright, this next one is postmarked from Charleston, West Virginia. And this is an old-time player that signed 4, and that is former Cardinal Gary Kolb, also a former Pirate. And I believe he played for a couple other teams, if I'm not mistaken. Mr. Kolb, get that more in the picture there. Mr. Kolb was kind of a journeyman type of utility backup guy. Wasn't really a starter at all during his career. Spent time in the outfield, also as a catcher. Has a lifetime .209 batting average. Spent 9 years in the majors. So pretty cool that he got a chance to do that. He played college baseball at the University of Illinois. Interesting note that he was the pinch runner that replaced Stan Musial in his final game as a St. Louis Cardinal. That's a neat little trivia fact. And another neat trivia fact is he was the last Cardinal to wear number 20 before Lou Brock became a St. Louis Cardinal, and later had his long career with the Cardinals, which eventually retired his number. So he shares the same number as Lou Brock. Who else can say that? Number 20. So that you could technically find a vintage Cardinals jersey with somebody other than Lou Brock's name on it, I guess. Let's see. 9 years in the majors. Played for the Cardinals, the Braves, the Mets, and the Pirates. So he signed 404. I picked these up in that vintage card lot, that I picked up a little while back. I will post the video up here in the corner or link it at the end, and you guys can check out that video with me going through that huge stack of 1960s commons. So thank you, Mr. Kolb. Very happy to add those to the collection. All right. This final one is thick, and that's why I kind of saved it for last. And it is postmarked from Houston, Texas. Put the sign back. And it is long time. Let's see. Long time catcher on, I believe, his rookie card. Johnny Edwards, or John Edwards. He goes by Johnny because on 5 of 5. And he's listed as John or Johnny Edwards. Kind of cover up his head there. Too many cards, I guess. So the cool thing about this, too much of a glare on that side, is Mr. Edwards actually had a long tenured career in the major leagues. He was a long time catcher for many years. And I'm going to do the math here, 13 seasons in the majors. Very proficient behind the plate. Wasn't really known for his offensive skills, although he did have a breakout season one year where he made the All-Star team. He actually made the All-Star team 3 times, but he had an excellent season where he had a couple years that he had some pretty good offensive numbers as well. But more importantly, he was a Gold Glove winner 2 times and a 3-time All-Star. So obviously he played for the Reds, and there was this other young catcher up and coming with the Reds that was kind of good, and his name is also Johnny Bench. So when Johnny Bench was ready for the majors, it was pretty apparent that Johnny Edwards could move on. And what Edwards did was he did move on to the St. Louis Cardinals for a season, then obviously finished his career with the Houston Astros. Now, I alone view this as a huge success, getting 5 of 5 vintage cards signed. But not only did Mr. Edwards sign my cards, but he included 2 personalized signed photos to me. Best wishes, Johnny Edwards. So, again, I go back to, you're cordial, you handwrite those letters, you say nice things to these players that sometimes feel like they're forgotten, you reap the rewards and the benefits. So, if you have a chance to write Mr. Edwards, his cards you can find for probably under $1. Obviously the older they are, the little more expensive, but you should be able to find them rather reasonably and affordable. So in closing, thank you for watching another video. I want to thank Mr. Edwards, Mr. Kolb, and Mr. Andersen for signing all of these cards for me. Hopefully I'll be able to show this card off with a couple more autographs on it in the near future. So look forward to your comments. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for future episodes. Thanks.